This was not the plan for today. Today's video was supposed to be the Cabo vlog. Here's why it isn't. I'm actually so excited for you guys to watch the Cabo vlogs because we'll just vlog. I turned it into one long video. Something about watching a long video I just really enjoy. I don't want you to think Bora Bora is happening again, okay? I actually filmed so much for YouTube. In fact, I would say I filmed way more for YouTube than TikTok. With the exception of the camping video, I think this Cabo vlog is one of my favorite vlogs I've ever made. I brought so many different cameras with me, so there are so many different angles of everything, and it's a fun, cute vlog. We are just waiting on the professional footage from the videographers that came with us on the yacht one of the days. It's been a minute and we still haven't gotten the footage. I think they said 10 days, so that's the only part of the vlog that isn't finished. It feels wrong to leave that out. It's Sunday currently, so our plan is to upload those this week. Hopefully at the beginning of the week. Y'all are getting a Cabo vlog, okay? That being said, I've been itching to talk to you. I know in the last vlog that was posted, I pretty much just opened up about how I've been feeling. Lots of emotions. Lots. One of my favorite things to do is to just sit and talk and not shut up. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. When I was in Cabo, I actually asked you guys for a bunch of questions, weight loss updates, whatever you guys want to hear me blab about. Any questions you might have, any advice you might need. My goal was to film that before leaving. Did that happen? No. The morning that we left, I woke up at 5 a.m. to see the sunrise because every sunrise was beautiful while we were there. I packed the night before, pat on the back. I usually am packing the morning of my flight. When I woke up for the sunrise, it was the only day in Cabo that it was raining. So I figured I would just sit in my podcast room and film this Q&A here. This is a cute room too. This is my corner of the podcast room. Andrew's is over there. They look very different, but also similar vibes because his has floral and mine is floral. We're also barefaced today and in comfy clothes. And I can't turn that fan off because it is boiling hot in here. Yet I have a blanket that's just to cover my coochie because I would hate to film an entire video and then realize that my lip is hanging out of my undies. I screenshotted a bunch of questions. I did not realize how many people were interested in my last weight loss Q&A. I didn't realize how many views that video had and how many comments on that video. It's just, I didn't realize so many of you guys, one, related, or two, we're gonna find that video actually helpful. I do have weight loss, journey related questions in here, and I do have updates. So I don't remember where I was at the last time I filmed. I don't remember what my weight was, or honestly, I don't really remember what I said in that video. I'll just get to what I get to, and if you have any other questions about anything, I don't think all of these are weight related as far as I remember. Feel free to ask me anything in the comments and I will get to them. Are you scared to one day stop weight loss medication? Because I am. I was talking to my mom about this actually because she is also on Mounjaro. I've been on Zepbound. I know that getting off of the medication can be very scary, and a lot of people who are against the medication just point out the fact that you're gonna gain all your weight back. And so I know that stopping it can be scary because especially once you've learned what it feels like to not be carrying around all of that extra weight. I'm still obviously overweight, but I'm a lot less overweight than I was, which makes a huge difference in how I feel day to day. So I know the feeling of maybe going back to how I felt before is scary. But throughout this entire process, I have treated this medicine as a tool. I think I mentioned that in my first weight loss Q&A. The medication is just a tool. If you treat it as something that's going to fix all of your problems, then without that, honestly, yeah, you're probably screwed. And that's why I was talking to my mom about it, because me and my mom have had very different experiences on the medication. For my mom, she is quite literally never hungry. So it hasn't really been a battle for her to change her eating habits. It's just been, she's not hungry. She eats because she knows she has to, but she doesn't really ever feel that hunger. When I first started the medication, I would notice as I went up in dose, maybe the first shot of every new dose, it would keep me not hungry for maybe 2 days. But for the rest of the time, I have still felt that hunger. My ADHD medication does help with that as well. If I have my Vyvanse, that helps me way more. I've noticed she seems to be more afraid of coming off the medication and what's gonna happen than I do, because I still have had to feel those hunger moments and I've had to fight through those hunger moments. And yes, the medication helps with your blood sugar amongst a lot of other things to help you lose weight. I'm not saying the medication hasn't helped me lose weight, it definitely has, but it has just been a tool for me. I haven't had to work out a ton, which is nice, but when you're as overweight as I was and am, you can lose weight without a bunch of exercise. I'm not really that afraid to stop it. I kind of already have. And I'm also not saying that while on the medicine, I didn't have days where I lost to my food addiction, if that makes sense. Like, I have still binged. I have had days where I have wanted to eat everything in my sight, and I have. The difference is those days just happen so few and far between now compared to the days where my food noise is so quiet and I feel in control and I don't feel like my life is dictated by food or when my next meal is. I'm not saying I'm perfect. That'll be something I struggle with for the rest of my life probably. I always thought I was gonna be on the medication for about a year. I mean, to be quite fair, I didn't think it was gonna work at all, but clearly it has. When I started opening up on TikTok about how I have been depressed, a lot of people started commenting that people on this medication or this type of medication, GLP-1s, after a few months have been reporting depression. When I saw those comments, I went online and started doing some research for myself, and it turns out a lot of people, have reported depression after like long-term use. Wanna come up, Duncan? Come on. Duncan is joining us. I've known that for about a month, maybe a little bit more. I don't know what the opinions are on like cold turkeying off this medicine. I'm in the process of talking to my doctors about it. I haven't taken the medication in 2 or 3 weeks, I don't think. I've always said I'm a good lover of the placebo effect, so if this is the placebo effect, then that's great, that's fine, but I've already started to feel better. That is not me saying stop taking the medication if you are taking the medication and you're depressed, and that is not me saying that the medication alone is the reason for this depression little section that I've been going through. It very well may just be the placebo effect, but I truly have started to feel a little bit better. Not perfect. It's kind of just like every single day I wake up, feel a little bit more like myself again. Cabo helped that a lot, actually. I feel like I really needed Cabo. I'm not afraid to stop it. I think I'm in the process of stopping it, and it has been fine so far. I guess I was a little bit nervous because I have been checking my weight a little bit more just to see. I've heard people who say that they've been eating the same amount as they were on the medication and they still started gaining weight after getting off. And so far, so good. In fact, I've actually lost a little bit more weight. The past couple months, I've been losing weight really slowly, which has been super healthy for me. Any time in the past where I've tried to lose weight and I was losing weight slow, it would just be super discouraging. This past year, I mean, I've been doing this since November. The difference this time is it was about my whole life. I turned 25 and I said, I can't live like this. And if you want something to change, you're gonna have to actually change, and it's not gonna happen overnight. I don't need to change drastically in a week. I don't need to change drastically in a month. Like I said, I don't know what I weighed the last time I made one of these updates. Right now I'm sitting at 220 pounds. My highest weight that I ever saw on a scale was 315. I hope somewhere in the past however many minutes of me answering this question that I actually answered this question. I gotta find the next one. What's one place in the world you've always wanted to visit? I just want to go to Europe. It looks cool in movies. Long plane rides have always kept me from traveling places, that and a passport, but I have a passport. And going to Bora Bora really got me over that fear of like long flights over the ocean. They still give me anxiety, a lot of it. Oh gosh, you are shedding. You guys have grooming in a week. But it's not something that scares me as much anymore, and I'm not gonna let it keep me from traveling. I would love to take a trip to Europe, maybe see a couple countries. I really want to go to Ireland. I really want to go to Greece, Italy, London perhaps. London's not a country, it's a city. Don't worry, I'm aware. Anywhere in Europe and Australia. And going on a safari in Africa would be really cool. I want to travel more and I want to see more places that aren't in the US. How is my hair going? Give us an update. If you did not know, I got a row of hair extensions put back in because one of the downsides of losing a mass amount of weight is your hair falls out. Maybe for some select special few, they don't get this side effect, but as far as I know, it's pretty standard with the weight loss process. Your body thinks it is going through a traumatic event, and a couple months after you start losing weight, your hair falls out. I knew this was gonna happen at some point. I did my best to try and avoid it, making sure you're eating enough protein, taking vitamins, but like I just said, there's only so much you can do and it only can be so avoidable. I would say I noticed maybe 4 or 5 months in, my hair slowly started to shed, and when I got my extensions put in, it was literally coming like out in clumps. Like each time I took a shower, I had a big old hair haul. I think I took some pictures. Honestly, scrolling back in my camera roll, that would be a nightmare because I have the most unorganized phone ever. I really didn't think it was gonna affect me that much just because I knew it was a part of the process. In fact, I think it's called telogen effluvium. It also happens to women in postpartum. This has actually happened to me once before, years and years and years and years ago. I knew that it was probably gonna happen again and that my hair would grow back and it would be okay. But I did not expect it to affect my confidence as much as it was. At the time, I also was not aware that I was depressed again. I was really just looking for any answers on how to fix it, and I had had extensions once or twice before, 2 rows, because my hair was really short and super damaged. I had them when I lived in Florida, and then when I moved back to Tennessee, I had them for a little bit, and then I just got them out and let my hair grow out. I stopped bleaching it, and I just gave it like a whole year of pretty much doing nothing to it. My hair itself was still really healthy. It had just gotten really thin. I had 2 options in my head. I was either gonna cut my hair short or I was gonna get extensions put in. Erin in Tampa is who I go to, and she had said to start with the extensions because right now with how long my hair was, I wouldn't need to have 2 rows. I could just do 1, which is a lot more manageable. And if I had the extensions in and I hated it, she could take it out and we could cut my hair short so it would look thicker. I trusted her and we put a row of extensions in, and I have loved them. Loved them. I'm due for a move up and to get my roots fixed. 1 row has been completely manageable and it has made me feel so much better. I obviously know that my hair is still shedding. I do think it's not shedding as bad as it was because my weight loss has been slowing down for a little bit. I think my body has just stopped freaking out as much. It's not a fun thing to see your hair coming out in clumps. That's not fun. And I really thought that it wasn't gonna affect me, but it did. And having the extensions has really helped. I don't notice it as much falling out or getting thinner. I can do fun things with my hair and it's great. I've had 1 move up, and when we took them out, my hair looked exactly the same, honestly, like no damage. She's so good at it. I don't regret it at all. And I know at any point, if I'm over them, I can just take them out and cut my hair, or even just leave it and just embrace having thinner hair. I don't think it makes me any more or less beautiful. It just helps my brain. I don't know. How has your body image changed since losing so much weight? I've talked about this before. It has been so weird losing weight and looking back on videos of me before, because it makes so much sense to me why I felt like I was suffocating in my own body. I was so uncomfortable. I've tried to stress that so much throughout this process that the reason that I chose to do this is because I no longer was comfortable in my body. I was just so tired of feeling so crappy every single day. Sitting was uncomfortable, standing was uncomfortable. There was no comfortable position to be in on the couch. There was no comfortable position to be in bed. Food had completely taken control of my body. I lived to eat, that was it. But I did not view myself as big as I was. I saw the scale say 310 pounds, 315 pounds, but I never viewed myself as that. When I look in the mirror right now, I still see the girl that I saw, almost 90 pounds ago. I still see that same person. The only time I know there's a difference is when I go back and look at videos of me at that time. Saw one on my Snapchat today. I'll insert a little clip of it. I just don't remember ever looking like that. I am not saying that she is not beautiful and that this version of me is not just as worthy of love and happiness and all of the good things in life than this version of me is. It's just she was so sad and so uncomfortable, but truly never thought that there was ever gonna be an out. I always thought that my eating disorder was going to win. I still have my eating disorder. I know I get that question a lot too. It is something that I have to fight every single day. Every time I feel any type of extreme emotion, happiness, sadness, anxiety, like I still have to fight. That doesn't just go away. She was so unhealthy and so not okay. I know that hearing me say that, like people get upset with me, but it's just the truth. Me losing weight does not mean that you need to lose weight. If you don't feel like all of those things that I'm just expressing, which is just about my quality of life, it's not about my worth, it's not about my beauty, it's about the quality of life that I'm living at 25, 24, 23, 22. I wanted a better quality of life, and that's all that it is. It is not me thinking that being smaller is better. I don't care. For me, my health was plummeting, pre-diabetic, couldn't strap my shoe. The moment I stepped outside, I would be sweating, completely out of breath going up and down the stairs, had no energy, no motivation to do anything. That's why I changed. I hope those of you who have been upset by me losing weight can understand that. I know so many of you guys do understand that. that. It also did take me a second to wake up to that. I mean, I've always been honest with myself. I think in life, me, and I'm assuming maybe some of you guys, whatever our issues may be, the idea of life just getting better on its own sounds great. The less effort we have to do, the better. But unfortunately, in most cases, that doesn't happen. Like, we have to make the change. I don't know what stuck this time or what is different other than the fact that I just knew that I couldn't keep living that way. Maybe that was my rock bottom and I finally hit it. Before we continue on with this video, I want to say a huge thank you to Golden Nugget Online Casino for sponsoring this video. Golden Nugget Online Casino provides the Vegas experience from the comfort of your own house. They now have an online casino app where you can play all of your favorite casino games right on your phone. Anytime I don't gotta go around people, I'm down for it. Golden Nugget Online Casino is a real money online gambling app. You can play a variety of your favorite slots, including Cleopatra, Fortune Coin, and an assortment of Golden Nugget exclusives. Golden Nugget Online Casino is fully regulated and licensed to legally operate, so you can safely and confidently play your favorite casino games with one of the longest standing casino brands in the USA. It's simple and easy to use. You can quickly navigate through all of the games available to play right from your phone or your tablet. So head to the Golden Casino app right now and sign up using promo code Samantha Joe. And new customers who deposit a minimum of $5 get $50 in casino credits. If you've been following along with me, you know that I love a good, responsible trip to a casino. It can just be so fun. And to know that I could do it from my own phone, how fun is that? Make sure you're responsible though. Now we can get back into the video. Now that I've lost the weight, I would love to lose a little bit more. Honestly, I would just love to get to a place where my body is healthy. I don't think about food 24/7. I think BMI says an ideal weight for my height is like 120 pounds. I will never be 120 pounds. In order for me to be that weight, I would once again be thinking about every meal that I ate, tracking everything that went into my mouth, obsessing over food. That's exactly the life that I'm trying not to live. I want to get to a point where I'm healthy. My blood work now is so good. I don't get as much anxiety going to the doctor. I've got a normal blood pressure, like a very good blood pressure actually. My body is starting to feel more like it's 25. Wherever my body lands, where I'm comfortable and I'm healthy and I don't have to say no to going to dinner with my friends. I don't have to say with what friends? I guess I have a lot of friends, but they're just long distance. So it's not often that we go to dinner. Like, I don't want to have to say no to things like living my life. Like, if I go to Europe, I want to be able to try the food and not stress about it or feel guilty about it. Wherever my body finds that is where I'll be happy. And if I start to notice I'm getting to a weight where I am having to think about it more, then I have to stop. Body image, the thing that scares me a little bit is gaining weight again, because now I know what I looked like, in the sense that at least I was ignorant to it the first time around. Now I would not only feel gross essentially, but I would also not have those blinders on to what my body looked like. And my body looked like I was uncomfortable, like point blank period. It looked like I was uncomfortable. I'm not saying it didn't look beautiful, it just looked like I was uncomfortable. That part does suck a little bit because I feel like I've lost that ignorance, which is maybe a good thing, maybe not, but I don't know. How has my mental health been? I feel like I've already talked about this a little bit. I feel like since getting off of the medication, and I'm not saying I'm completely off of it, I think there's a weaning process. I'll have to take one maybe every 2 weeks or every month, or I don't know, but I need to figure out if it's the medication that's causing it. So at least for a little bit, I'm not gonna be taking it, just to see if the depression truly does get better. Because if it does get better, then I am gonna choose my mental health over the medication, and I will just continue on my journey on my own. Because the reason that I started it is because I was pre-diabetic. I'm no longer pre-diabetic, and my blood sugar and my blood pressure are great. I'm capable of doing it without the medication now. I'm confident in that. I don't necessarily feel like I need it. I feel like we're on the up, I think. Also, taking a break from social media has helped. I haven't posted very much on TikTok, and obviously haven't been posting that much on YouTube. I think I needed that time to just really sit in my head and figure out what's going on. I would say I'm still depressed, but I can tell that I'm getting a little better because I'm feeling hopeful. For a while, I felt no hope. I think it's getting a little better. I hope so. Do you feel like people treat you differently in the influencer space after your weight loss? 100% yes. People that would not give me the time of day before talk to me now. Brands that didn't give me the time of day before talk to me now. Brands that would not sponsor me have reached out for sponsors. Opportunities that I know I wouldn't have got before, I've been getting now. At the end of the day, unfortunately, a lot of this job is about looks, and a lot of brands brands care about the looks of the people that they work with, and I have turned down so many sponsors of people that I have asked to work with before and have said no to me, who have now reached out. And the only thing that's different between reaching out now versus when I reached out before is the number on the scale. If you weren't interested in working with me before, then I sure as shit ain't gonna work with you now. And that sucks because I've always known that my weight was affecting my career, and I never understood why. Well, I knew it was because society is very vain, but people didn't believe me. Like, people did not believe me. They would say I'm wrong and that's just an excuse. Now people are seeing it. I'm like, do you not see that my Instagram engagement went from 20,000 likes on a bikini picture to 70,000 to 100,000 likes on bikini pictures? Brands are willing to pay more money. When I go to events, influencers talk to me more. It's disheartening because I don't think that your weight should justify your worth. You shouldn't be treated differently for your weight, and that is something I stand by. I don't see how your weight determines the type of person that you are. Who you are as a person, it has no correlation to your weight. People would tell me that I'm not worthy of love. People would tell me, I mean, that I just shouldn't even be here because I'm overweight. I definitely shouldn't post online. Long story short, yes, I get treated very different. Even in public, in real life, I get treated very different. More people have started to hold doors open for me now. Can you explain that to me? Because I don't know. I also feel like I get judged less when I'm in like sweats than I did before. Because when plus size people wear sweats, it's, oh my gosh, they're lazy and gross and stinky. When average size people wear sweats, they're cute and comfy. It's not viewed the same. I mean, I've been plus size for as long as I can remember. I'm in between a size 14 and 16 right now, and a size 14 I believe is considered mid-size. I'm not sure. So as I've gotten closer to the mid-size community, it's just different. It's crazy how different people treat you in real life, online, from brands, everything. What advice do you have for anxiety? Medication. No, I'm not telling you have to go get medicated, but for real, medication has helped me a lot if we're just being realistic. Outside of that, like if you can't go to a psychiatrist, find a hobby. That sounds like a rude statement, but crocheting for me is my anxiety reliever. My brain is so focused on being good at crocheting that it has no space to think about all of the other issues. My Vyvanse, my ADHD medication, truly does help so much. It just quiets my brain down. I'm able to focus on what I need to focus on. If I'm having like an anxiety attack, it sounds so silly and so simple, but I just will tell myself, I'll look around the room and I say, okay, what are 5 things that you could see? What are 5 things that you can feel? What are 5 things that you can smell? What are 5 things that you can taste? It's just a really grounding exercise, and it helps me a lot. It does seem so simple and silly, but it really does help. Calling somebody helps with my anxiety a lot. Just like talking about anything else. Building Legos. I want to start building my Disney castle set. For me, the biggest help has been my medication and crocheting for sure. I also journal to Jesus. Dear Jesus, this. And I like write my prayers down essentially, and that has helped me a lot too. Speaking of Disney, by the way, guess who got invited? Can I say this? I'm gonna say it. Disney World, like actual Disney World, invited me out for 5 days. I invited Gibbs. Andrew's gonna come. It's gonna be so fun. Posting Disney all the time, it has paid off, you guys, and they invited me out. I get to stay in a resort. Ooh, highs and lows of the week. Honestly, I've been crying a lot, but I feel like that's just because I'm really trying to face all of my emotions instead of run from them. What would be a low of the week? Highs of the week. Okay, wait, maybe I should have thought of this before. Why do I suck at answering that so much? If people ask me my peak and my pit, I struggle to answer. If I don't think of it before the end of this video, I'll answer it in the comments. Has becoming who you are now fixed any part of your child's self? I think so. I know she would be really proud of me. There are a lot of parts of who I am still that I don't like, that are because of things that happened when I was a kid. I'm still working on them. I probably will always be working on them, or just discovering new little things. But we've healed her a lot. We have been able to pick apart a lot of what happened and see how that has translated into my adult life and change it. We obviously cannot control the things that happened to us growing up, but we can control how we act as adults. Unfortunately, it does become our responsibility to fix those things if they are hurting other people and if they are affecting others. And it can be very humbling to admit things about yourself that aren't good and try and fix them, to not blame other people for certain things, and to not just deflect a lot of your pain onto other people. The growth that I have experienced in the past year, in the past 2 years, 3 years, like I don't recognize my old self at all. I feel for her. I'm far from perfect. Like I said, I'll probably be evolving for my entire life. I think that's a part of life. And if you're not growing, then I think you should evaluate some things, because we should constantly be growing. I think we've fixed her up a little bit. I think we've evolved for sure. And I think our past self would be really proud of who we are now. What was your favorite moment of the Cabo trip? So obviously you guys are gonna see so many things from the Cabo trip. Jenica asked what our favorite moment was, and I just don't know that I could pick a single one. Like, the yacht was so fun. We did a cooking class that was so fun. We went on banana boats, which was so fun. There's really a lot. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. What's something you're proud of yourself for accomplishing this past month? I'm really happy with how Annika's bag turned out that I made her for her birthday. You guys will see it in the vlog, but I'll put a little picture up of it. It was definitely smaller than I wanted it to be, and it wasn't perfect, but the quality of that bag was so much better than the previous bags that I've made, and I can just tell that I'm improving. I sewed a liner into it for the first time, and yeah, I'm really proud of myself for doing that and finishing it. When you're doing projects like that, they can sometimes feel like they're never gonna end, but I did it, and I'm proud of myself. How has traveling affected your mental health? It helps a lot. Well, maybe it helps and hurts, because I do really well with a routine, but I struggle really hard to have a routine and to have a schedule. With traveling, that kind of gets thrown all over the place, but traveling with Jenica and Annika, we had a schedule. We had a plan. Did I do the schedule? No. Did I plan it? No. And I noticed on that trip, it really didn't affect me badly. Like, I really feel like Cabo was so good for me. So maybe I need to plan my trips out more, like make even a loose itinerary instead of just going with the flow. I would say it helps more than it hurts, but not having a routine can kind of throw me off. There are so many moments when I'm at home that I don't have a routine either, so I don't know. I love seeing the world, and I love getting to see other environments. The world is so big, like so freaking big. I just want to see all of it. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Married with a kid? 10 years? I would love to have opened a crochet coffee shop. That's like an ultimate dream goal though. How have you managed your eating disorder and losing weight at the same time? That's a good question. It has been a struggle, because there have been days where obviously I've wanted to binge, and I have binged. And there's also been days where like the opposite is the problem. I have been so fixated on losing weight that I maybe was trying to keep myself from eating enough. And so I feel like it can be difficult on both sides of that stick. It's truly just about remembering why you're doing it. And if you have a bad day, like that's okay. Like, you don't need to punish yourself if you overate one day, if you underate one day. Just do better today. One day or even a week is not going to throw off your entire journey. Nobody's journey just looks like this. Like, it looks like this. The days that has happened, I have just really had to sit myself down and say, like, it's okay. You still got this. Life is never gonna be perfect, and just, I've talked myself out of it. I've given myself grace. I've talked to myself the way I would talk to my friends, instead of being super harsh on myself and hard on myself. Like, we are our own worst critics. I really just try to look at the bigger picture in the moments where I've messed up either way. Redirect my focus to what matters, instead of saying, well, I binged for a whole day. I may as well just stop trying and go back to how I was. And also being really careful not to slip into the opposite problem of consistently undereating, because that isn't gonna do you any good either in the long run. In order for this to be a long-term thing, it has to be done in a healthy way. And like I said, my binge eating disorder is not just gone, it's just something that I have gotten stronger with. I finally feel like I've reached a point where I'm stronger than my eating disorder, because for the longest time, my eating disorder has been stronger than me. That is a good feeling. I realized that there are a couple of quick things that I wanted to say that I have written down, because I kind of keep a little note in my phone for updates for you guys, like weight loss wise, on things that have changed or that I've noticed. I'm not gonna blabber on for a long time. I know in my last video, I think I mentioned that one of my goals was to be able to go to Universal and ride all of the roller coasters. I have not been able to fit on roller coasters since I was in high school. And recently I went and I was able to ride everything. Even some of the rides I didn't need the extended seats for. That was a huge non-scale victory for me, and just feels really good knowing that there really isn't much that my weight can keep me from doing anymore. A lot of weight limits are like 250, I'm 220. I fit on most things now. I get a lot of questions about my loose skin, and yes, I have loose skin. I have a lot on my inner thighs. I know that there's obviously some fat in this, but for the most part, it is skin. My stomach has it as well. And obviously my boobies. They look like deflated nut sacks.
That one sucks a little. But I'd rather have loose skin than be as uncomfortable as I was.
Anytime I've lost any amount of weight, really, I notice it and I get people commenting on it, is my voice. I think it has something to do with my thyroid. A doctor explained it to me once. I genuinely do not remember, but when I'm heavier, my voice tends to be lower. When I lose weight, it tends to get a little bit higher. That's the only difference I notice with my voice. Obviously, over the years, I've also lost my Wisconsin accent a little bit. That can change the way I sound too, but definitely as I've lost weight, my voice has gotten higher. Nothing crazy, but just it's noticeable to me. Editing my videos, I notice I don't breathe as heavy. I don't get as insecure about my breath because I don't sound like I'm struggling when I'm just sitting there. And lastly, I do not snore as bad. I think I still snore a little bit, but barely. I just forgot to tell you those things and they felt important to me. I've been talking for like an hour, so I feel like I should shut up. But like I said, if you guys have any other things you guys want me to talk about or give advice on, leave them in the comments down below, please. The Cabo vlog is coming in literally just a couple of days. That's just footage that I can't leave out. It's like drone footage of us on the boat and just us having a good time on the boat. I honestly didn't film much on the boat because I knew that we paid for this videographer, so it is coming and it is a good one and it is a long one. So make sure you have a snack. I'll put a little preview in right here just to get you excited.
No, it's so cute and perfect. I can hear the parties going on. So people are good. I've always said I was gonna get married in Italy, but
out of my mind, how could I be so blind? How could I not see?
happy birthday to you.
I love you guys. Thanks for listening and chatting with me today. I honestly just needed to talk. I needed to chat. This is your reminder to drink water. I love you guys so much and I will see you in a couple of days.
Bye-bye.